COVID-19 is a power grab hoax.
Then there is 5G. Looks dodgy to me.
Possible alien life.
It's safe to say it's been a massive year for conspiracy theories. Everything from President Trump's secret war against the deep state,
YouTube, Q's plan to save the world,
to the endless COVID theories. Is it a hoax? Is it a weapon? Even flat earthers have been back in the headlines.
Flat gang, baby.
Black game all the way. It's flat.
It's all the brothers in the squad got them questioning space. It's a flat world surrounded by ice.
But what actually makes people believe these kinds of conspiracy theories? Also, how do you protect yourself from falling for them, or help friends or family who may have already been sucked in? To get to the bottom of all of this, I tracked down some experts on the subject. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out some of our other explainers once this is done. We've got everything from deepfakes to the mysteries of North Korea. Now, it's important to understand that real conspiracies do exist. A conspiracy is basically a secret plan or agreement between people that are usually in a position of power to commit a crime or do something harmful. For example, in 2013, when the US government's National Security Agency was exposed for illegally spying on Americans. The difference between real conspiracies and something like COVID and 5G or the moon landing being faked is that most of the time they're exposed by journalists or government investigations or whistleblowers and leaked documents. Whereas some of the people that believe the more out there theories tend to ignore the credible and proven evidence. So what exactly is it that makes people believe these kinds of conspiracies and ignore any actual evidence that goes against it? According to the experts, there are a couple of different reasons. The first is pretty straightforward: convenience.
There are a lot of people who say, oh, climate change is a hoax. They just say that, and then they can walk away from the problem.
If you choose to believe climate change isn't real, then it means you don't really have to change anything about your lifestyle. It's a similar thing with COVID. It's easier to pretend that it's just not real and to continue living life normally. That way you don't have to worry about things like wearing a mask or whether your actions are going to put other people in harm's way. But what about people who have more extreme beliefs and buy into theories that don't really make your life any easier?
Why do they want to do that?
Well, you've seen the Hunger Games.
Population through vaccination.
When people feel scared, confused, or like they're not really in control of their lives, conspiracy theories can actually make them feel safe and even more empowered. Think of it this way: the idea of a global pandemic that spreads quickly, is invisible, and affects people pretty randomly can be scary.
People don't like the idea that random events are impacting their life. They prefer that there's a plan, that there's order. Even if it's an evil plan, that's more comforting than pure randomness.
Say no to the tyranny! The tyranny of the New World Order!
If you, for some reason, believe COVID is caused by 5G, then you have something or someone that you can blame, and you now know how to stop COVID. All you need to do is tear down some 5G towers and the world will be safe and good again. Unfortunately, that has actually been happening around the world, and surprise, surprise, it hasn't magically cured COVID. Also, conspiracy theories can help people make sense of things that they don't understand.
This is not a theory that they didn't go, it's an absolute fact that they didn't go.
For example, it's a lot easier to think we just pretended to land on the moon than it is to try to understand how we got a hunk of metal travelling thousands of kilometres into space, run by computers that are about as powerful as a pocket calculator. Trying to wrap your head around that can be mind-boggling, and to be honest, it can make you feel a bit dumb. The other option is simple, easy to understand, and as a bonus, it can actually make you feel smarter than everyone else, because you're part of a small group that wasn't tricked and made to believe some fake story.
It's got almost a religious narrative. I was blind, but now I see. Now I can make sense of things. Now I'm not like the deluded.
While some conspiracy theories may seem harmless, they can actually cause serious problems.
One of the most insidious ways that conspiracy theories are damaging is they erode public trust in institutions and experts. And that's especially important when listening to experts is crucial to keep the public safe from an infectious virus.
Also, conspiracy theories can radicalize people and make them violent. What's made things worse in the past couple of years is the internet. Right now, it is easier to make, find, and spread conspiracy theories than it has been at any other point in history. For example, the QAnon conspiracy theory started with a couple of anonymous posts on an internet message board that has a reputation for trolling, and now it has followers around the world. So, how can you protect yourself from being suckered into conspiracy theories? What the experts recommend is trying to change the way that you look at the world. For one thing, get used to the fact that you don't know everything and you're going to be wrong about things a lot, and that's okay.
As a scientist, the moment I receive contrary evidence, I'm updating my beliefs.
Being wrong about something isn't fun, especially if it's a topic that's important to you. People have a natural instinct to try and avoid that negative feeling, and that often happens by trying to convince ourselves that we're not the ones that are wrong. Take a step back, weigh up the evidence, and make sure that it's credible evidence. Listen to what the majority of experts are saying, and just try to use common sense. There's a well-known principle called Occam's razor, which is basically that the simplest answer is usually the right one. Also, people are really bad at keeping secrets, so just try to keep in mind how many people would need to be quiet for the conspiracy theory to be true.
You ask the doctors how much they're being paid to say that.
Are you suggesting that every single doctor in the NHS is part of a conspiracy theory?
You ask them that.
Now, what can you do to help family and friends who might be in deep with a conspiracy theory?
They end up alienating their friends because the logic of the conspiracy theory demands that, if the friend isn't buying into it, it's because, at best they're deluded and at worst they're, actively part of the conspiracy itself.
When you do talk to them, it's not just about what you talk about, it's about how you talk about it.
Do it with empathy rather than saying, you're stupid, how can you possibly believe this? Conspiracy theorists cloth themselves with the vocabulary of critical thinking. It's like, I'm not gullible and I'm not being tricked by the man, and open your eyes, sheeple. It's like they see themselves as the critical thinkers.
You can lead a globe earther to flat water, but you can't make them think critically about the shape of the earth.
So potentially you can appeal to that commonly held value and try to challenge them to use their critical thinking, but direct it towards their own theory.
Also, remember, it's not always just about the conspiracy theory. They may actually be feeling scared, upset, or confused about something else, and there might be other ways that you can help them. Right now, we live in an age of misinformation, so now more than ever before, it's important that we keep our critical thinking skills up and look out for the people around us. Thanks again for watching, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also check out some of our other explainers. If you've made it this far, chances are you're going to really like some of them too.